Alright, hello everyone. Welcome to Nexus Gaming Series. A big B East matchup here. My title of my stream is wrong. Need to update it. Tricky Geese, aka Tricky Gooses, versus Roomba Rotation. They're so tricky that they fuck up subject-verb agreement. Technically it's more wrong pluralization, but whatever. Nonetheless, point being, we are headed for a barn burner of a matchup between these two teams. It's going to be Tricky Gooses versus Roomba Rotations. We already took a look at the standings, but showing them again here. You can see that Tricky Gooses currently tied for second. One Tricks, I believe, has played all of their matches. No, they still have to play Roomba. That's it. Tricky Gooses, I think, still has 2 matches left. I think Roomba has 3, but I'm not certain of this. Maybe they both only have 2 matches remaining. Unsure. Either way, whoever wins this, I see as incredibly probable to get the 2 seed. The big match, and right out of the gate, jumping into the draft here on Cursed Hollow. Samuro is banned out. Don't know why I had chat up. Sorry about that. Ban on the Samuro. Ban on the Tassadar. Alstad going to be denied here. Tricky Gooses has broken out Samuro Abba on some of these bigger maps. I would frankly say in B East right now, it's the top 3 teams. Tiny Dancers, Tricky Gooses, Roomba Rotations, and then just really a massive gap to everyone else. And I include my team, Jailbait. We lost 0-2 to both these teams. I think they're both really strong. I would say that there's a very, very large gap between 3rd and 4th place. So all 3 of these teams will be top 3 seeds, but certainly being the 1 seed, which Tiny Dancers likely be, comes with the advantage of only having to play one of the opponents in the playoff bracket. If you're a 2 or 3 seed, you're going to have to beat both in order to get to Division B finals. But ETC Joe, the first 2 picks, not too surprising. They are very much kind of the top tanks in the game. And actually jumping into a Cassia, and I've seen Cassia since the rework has been really strong, and it's something that Tricky Goose is very much happy to prioritize. And Naunani plays it quite well. Rainer comes in for Confused. Had been playing a lot of Greymane, but switching over to Rainer here, and then grabbing the Anduin to try to get some kind of quick save option. Anduin, a strong healer at the moment. Especially if you expect to need a cleanse. Light Bomb could be very effective too. There's a lot of heroes that can synergize with that Light Bomb. Jaina going to get denied, which makes sense. They kind of have a good combo set up to enable a Jaina Blizzard Power Slide into Root, into a Face Melt back in to the Blizzard. Could get a lot of damage. Next one coming in. It is the Rhaegar banned out. Not wanting any bluffs against them. Next 2 picks coming in. Tricky Gooses has drafted some unconventional stuff, but they play it so well that it's hard to fault them. And there's the Yrel. Going to be incredibly disruptive onto that backline. And Whitemane going to be chosen. That's something that Carpe DM has picked up in some of their games and has played quite effectively. Tahaka going to be the choice. A lot of value onto the map with the global. And 1 more damage to come in. What are they going to pick? The Gul'dan. Interesting choice. Maybe looking to make plays off the Horrify. And Li Ming going to be the last pick. A lot of that poke blow up there. Pretty standard drafts from both teams, which you know, based on some of the comps we've seen out of Tricky Gooses lately, which have been fairly spicy, admittedly. But based on some of those comps, this is fairly standard. This is fairly down the middle. More so than I certainly expected from Tricky Gooses. Not to say in any way bad. I think these are good drafts. I think they're very good drafts. Just, you know, I don't know. I kind of wanted some memes. It just I like memes. Memes are fun. Tricky Gooses. Look, Tricky Gooses ran my team's ass off the fucking map with a butcher. They're a really fucking good team when it comes to meme comps. That's just why I want to see it, because it's just so exciting to watch. I mean, not when you're on the opposing team, as I was, and again, got my ass, ran the fuck off the map. But they're a really good team. Roomba Rotations also ran us off the map, so they're also a good team. So I'm excited to see what happens here. Introducing teams: Tricky Gooses on the left. It's gonna be Duck on Joanna, Birdie on the Li Ming. Y is gonna be up in the top on the Urel, Carpe Diem on the White Man, and Nanani gonna be on that Cassia. Nanani, just an exceptional player. Idioms is gonna be playing Goldan. Synchrony on ETC. Confused gonna be playing the Rainer. MJ Doom on Dahaka, and Iron on the Anduin. As we get set to go. Except, you know, they're just gonna take a little walk. Up to the top. Go ahead and take a look at those level 1 talents. So this is an interesting thing. White Mane, her competitive build still very much centers on starting with Pity the Frail and going into W at 13 and 16. If you look at Storm League, that talent combo has about a 10% less win rate than her E build. And I don't know if that is because it's harder to play or if it requires coordination. I gotta say, personally, I actually do like E-Build, but I can also say that, once again, Tricky Gooses ran our ass off the map, and part of that was a White Mane game with the Pity the Frail. So I think Tricky Gooses certainly knows how to run it, and, you know, the enabling power as well as the disabling power at 13 is quite strong. But these are the things I talk about when I'm trying to fill time. Goldan going with the Fell Flame quest. Much quicker to stack than E-Build. Much quicker. I like what Idioms is doing here. Baiting some damage onto himself, which he can heal, in order to preserve his towers without stepping up. I quite like that. Idiom's a very strong player. Doing a good job baiting in here. And having grabbed their Siege Camp, they're not going to grab their Bruiser, and that makes sense. Certainly, both teams playing the camps correctly. If the Tribute is in your Siege lane, you want Siege early, and therefore you go Siege Bruiser. If your Siege Camp is opposite, I should say, the Shrine lane, then you take Bruiser Siege, and then both teams have done that exactly. While maintaining their soak, so these two teams really just a cut above a lot of the macro play that we see in Division B. Timing their camps well. Neither really timing it with the objective, but I think that makes sense. They want to get some control onto the map here. Maybe could have been a little bit slower to gain some benefit, but in either case, we do get the warning now. So we got the 30-second clock. And we're already seeing two members of Roomba rotations going top, so it looks like they really have no interest in going for this first objective. Instead, maybe trying to look for that gank onto Ming. Well, no, they're heading back down. And ETC's, so they are going to fight over this first OBJ. Or are they? I don't know. I'm a mere mortal grasping at straws at these juggernauts of B East as they do battle. My sound turned off. What? I have no clue why my sound is off. All of a sudden, my sound got really quiet. I will try to adjust. But there we go. Channel is now coming in, turning the game sound back down a bit. Seems to have resolved itself. There is a focus onto Nana-Ni, but great heals from the white main, keeping Nana-Ni up, and actually quite healthy to boot. Really, really good healing there by white main. And Materia, or Carpe Diem, excuse me. Martyrion's also been a really good healer this series. Carpe Diem has been just a fantastic healer in BEs. Just exceptional stats. And the play's really been there. Even with some what I would say as less conventional healer choices. Still playing them very, very well. Really was ahead of the curve in terms of playing white main. And actually, Carpe Diem played Samuro against us in one game and played it well. What heroes were banned? I can't remember. You can go to, click on my channel, go to videos. You can see under past broadcast is actually this broadcast live, and you can go back in time and see what the hero bans were. I actually don't remember. I remember Samuro was banned. Ooh, there goes Urel onto the back line. But ETC just not really taking a lot of damage here. And Roomba rotations really focused on getting this kill. Haven't stepped up too much to interrupt, but now the damage finally comes in onto ETC, and down he goes. And my goodness, just the sustain we're seeing out of Carpe Diem is absolutely insane. Take a look at that healing number. Already at, it's only at about 10,500, but it feels like more. As just the healing really weathered the storm there. And Anduin just not able to match. And we're seeing some actually interesting talent choice here out of Anduin. We're seeing the Holy Reach. I think I've seen Roomba rotation pick this talent before. Which normally when you see Renew, you tend to look for something like W or Auto Attack, but it can work. Can give a little burst heal. I'm just interested to see where it gets value. Presumably that pairs with push forward at 13 to try to get the CDR on Chastise. Ooh, okay. Alright, didn't get punished there. He's currently still in lane. This is Roomba rotations. They grabbed 10 just a split second before Tricky Gooses. Not able to really do anything with it. Level 10's coming in. We got Divine Reckoning, Valkyrie, Ardent Defender, Blessed Shield, and Wave of Force. On the other side, it is Horrify. There's the Mosh, but not able to secure the kill in time. But they do get the channel, so that is mission accomplished. As well as they get out Ardent Defender, so they trade one 120-second cooldown for another. And now rotate immediately into their bruisers. So good macro awareness, no hesitation there. On the other side, though, Whitemane and Joanna immediately turning their attention to this boss. Li Ming is joining. Now, Li Ming went Calamity, so not any talents to bolster damage to the boss. Boss also being started by Roomba. Now, their Roomba rotation is on Curse Point. And so if Roomba rotation can indeed get the curse here, their boss certainly would do more damage, especially bolstered by this bruiser camp in the mid lane. Meanwhile, boss has just been taken, so I don't think Tricky Gooses is going to be able to rotate up in time. And without Ardent Defender, I think Urel goes down, and Roomba rotations with a great gank there. And they should absolutely get this tribute. And with the bosses pushing, that is going to force a heavy response here from Tricky Gooses. Currently stuck clearing up the mid lane. So, big lead early for Roomba rotations potential if they get some value here. They're right now pushing up the top fort. They don't need to push with this boss, though, so want to avoid getting flanked. They're going to back up, and it looks like they might start heading to ETC, who's in the mid lane. Dahaka currently dealing with the boss on bottom. Does have it down to about a third of health, and the well is going to buy some time. Meanwhile, we'll keep our focus here to the mid lane. 4 people hit. There's a power slide looking for Urel. Urel does have Ardent Defender back up in 8 seconds. Mosh up in 4. But good defense here. Or excuse me, not good. Good attack there. I don't know why I said good defense. Apologies. Good attack there by Roomba Rotations, helping to secure that first fort. And they get 2 forts, and Dahaka's working on number 3. And if you get 3 forts off that first curse, I mean, that's a really big deal. That gives you that extra kata pressure in the lane. Makes it harder for the enemy team to push lanes. Given how long these lanes are, you'll typically see a kata in the lane. And now bot fort has gone down as well, so a very, very productive phase. Still only up by about 1/3 of a level, though. But that passive XP is going to start grinding against Tricky Gooses. They're going to have to find a way to flip this momentum, but only at 1 tribute point. They're going to need to get 2 or a curse. Siege camp being picked up here by Roomba. Bruiser being scouted by Tricky Gooses, but also scouted by Roomba. And Whitemane did see ETC, so retreat pings come in. Here comes the re-engage, but without the members of Roomba there, they're just going to go ahead and pop over and take this. Roomba, looking at that bush gank. I expect the bush will be checked. Roomba not content to just sit and wait. They decide to go split, try to grab some soak before this next objective. Make sure mid is pushed out a bit for that bruiser camp. They do need to send someone, of course, top to deal with the siege camp as well. ETC just going to hover around the bottom. This is a tribute on their side of the map. We'll see how that plays into their benefit or detriment. Certainly if they lose that tribute and they lose some heroes in the process, it could turn into a bot fort, but they're defending well. They want to keep their forts up. They want to keep that passive XP grind as it's starting to widen the gap a bit. Both teams really playing around each other, avoiding the fights for now. These teams very good about knowing when they can take beneficial fights. They don't just look to fight, but they are 2 of the best team fighting teams in the division. And that's something that you see a lot among the top Division B teams, is they're typically the teams, not just that fight well, because there's a lot of teams that fight well that ultimately don't do great. It's that they're the teams that really have the best macro. And these 3 teams, I say, these 2 on stream and Tiny Dancers, certainly have shown that this season. But that small level lead has turned into almost a full level. 16 on the horizon. We'll see how much Roomba wants to force this without the 16 advantage. Ult being held for the time being. There comes the Mosh. Does find Yrel. Immediate interrupt. Valkyrie. But the Light Bomb actually disarming that Valkyrie there. Divine Reckoning, though, is going to make the members of Roomba Rotation scatter. ETC chasing down the Li Ming on the backside, but very low and not able to find heals. And Synchrony now having to back up. Very awkward angle. There's the Ardent Defender, and it looks like slowly yet surely Tricky Gooses is at least going to win this shrine. Even if no kills go off there. And at this point, I'm not sure they will. They will not. So, Carpe Diem, staying alive. Ha 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 ha. Staying alive. Staying alive. You can tell by the way he used his W, he's a Whitemane main. No time to talk. Alright, I'm done with that joke. Played it out about 30 seconds longer than I needed to. But, now, in siege camp being started here by Tricky Gooses. They do have the tribute, but Roomba has moved into their boss. Right now, Joe and Yrel have backed. And this boss won't be up long enough, so this will be potentially an uncontested boss in the lane. And, that sets Roomba up for a good opportunity here, as their bruiser camp's going to require being cleared in the mid. But their boss is also going to need to be cleared top. And so I think the best play here for Tricky Gooses might be... Ooh, good flank there. Gets onto Whitemane. That's the target they want. They find it. There's a big Valkyrie onto MJ Doom, but he's going to pop Essence and Burrow to get back up. And now Yrel trying to disengage this. Great disengage by Tricky Gooses. As bad as they kind of got picked out there, that could have gone far worse, and if they lost anyone else, that could have been a mid-keep going down. Instead, though, they managed to disengage that very effectively and walk away despite the white main death. And Roomba, though, now with an opportunity to go for the double boss play. You can see this boss does truck a bit of damage into this keep. About a third of its health, maybe closer to like 30% than a third. Now this boss gonna walk towards this bottom keep. 2 Katas lined up here. They definitely want to protect the Katas and get some of that chunk damage out. But Joe's stepping up, recognizing we don't want the Katas still up. They're going to pressure out Synchrony a bit with some damage. But now with the gate down, there's an opportunity to look for a play with this boss. They can time it out. They could use Power Slide to set up. There's a Power Slide actually onto the Iron Skin Joe. Blessed Shield comes out. There's Divine Reckoning with the Valkyrie, and Synchrony gets popped. Iron tries to step up, but just that Valkyrie provides so much separation. And, you know, Leap of Faith only has so much range. And so this might be the first curse of the game headed over to Tricky Gooses. They are going to go ahead and get their Bruiser into lane. Siege going to counter in the bot lane. But this curse could really enable them to turn this game around, especially with ETC in the penalty box for another 25. And I don't expect Roomba rotations will actually play for this. They won't. They're going to give the curse, but it looks like they maybe want to make a play to that bottom keep. And I expect maybe to see some backs here. I don't know if they're anticipating the back door. Looks like they weren't. They're going to go ahead and I think they're just sacrificing. They recognize, look, there's no point in backing. We've already lost the bottom keep. That said, I think they're going to play for the aggressive flank here. And it might behoove Roomba rotations to just Hearth, rather than try to retreat backwards. Dahaka getting caught out here, trying to kind of peel, but gets actually stunned. And I think MJ Doom might go down. No, the heal comes in. And that's a big root. ETC, though, now is kind of on the wrong side of that split. And Leap of Faith not available for Anduin. That said, ETC going to be able to walk out of there. That speed metal makes ETC just so deceptively mobile. Pair it with the face melts and the sleep on the face smelt at 13, and it's just very hard to catch ETC as we saw there. Power Slide looking at your rel. Synchrony though doesn't really get the follow up needed to look for a kill. Gonna back up, get healthy. And there's a Power Slide now onto Joe. Mosh Pit comes out. Light Bomb going to be the follow. There's the Divine Reckoning. And actually, that's going to provide a ton of healing. Synchrony needs to get out of that. Finally does. But so much healing came out as a result of that. Now the Bless Shield looking for MJ Doom. The big Horrify, but it's not enough to disengage. MJ Doom has gone down. Now Synchrony trying to get away from this. If he goes down, this could be a disaster for Roomba rotations. The heals, though, coming in from Iron, and that may have saved the game. No, ETC Power Slides back and look for the rail. But the Ardent Defender was timed perfectly to disengage that. And once again, you're just seeing such great comboing. But because you have 2 of the best supports in B East, you know, in Iron, who's just exceptional, and really, I think Carpe DM is just an insanely high-caliber player. I think well beyond other BE supports, if I'm honest. You know, just not getting those deaths that you would expect. But that said, you know, very low kill game. 3-3, hitting the 18-minute mark soon. But despite that, Tricky Goose is starting to claw their way back in. They still need to find level 20. I think Roomba, they made this mistake when I cast them against Boogan's squad. I think they didn't do enough with their 20 advantage on Brax's holdout in that game. And I'm worried they're making the same mistake here, as Idioms is now looking like he might be a target of engagement. But rotation's coming up from the rest of Roomba. Idioms is low. But, ooh, there's the Bless Shield looking for the engage. Great cleanse onto Raynor. Horrify as well scatters the team. Light Bomb with the pull. Not sure if that was maybe misclicks or what. Synchrony, though, very low. Needs to get out of there. I don't know if MJ Doom... Oh, MJ Doom goes down. And that is the third kill in a... Or second or third kill in a row. From Tricky Gooses. But that said, they have to recognize their keep is quite low. And actually, room rotations, I think they just left minions thinking they'd finish. That keep never did get finished because of the curse token. So it is still standing. Is ETC going to play this cheeky? I think ETC might play this cheeky. Ding 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 stealthy ETC. Dear dear dear. Dear 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 dear. Boss picked up in the top lane. ETC going to back to defend that. If it's any consolation material, I think you are the second best, and I think it's close. But every time I've seen Carpe Diem play, I've not seen Carpe Diem do anything wrong, and I've seen Carpe Diem do a lot of things right. There's the focus. ETC has to power slide through to find safety. Horrify once again, trying to buy time to clean this boss up. That mid fort actually, or that mid keep, excuse me, is quite low at the moment, though it will get counter pushed by the minions. But this keep has gone down in the top, so currently, yeah, good Li Ming disengaged there with the orb. Currently, a big stack pushing into this bottom, and this keep is just so low. But I like Tricky Gooses giving this one up here. I think they just need to play safe. They've shown they can win these fights lately. And they are going to get this channel pretty much uncontested. It should be noted that we do have the Indestructible out of Joanna. ETC did not pick Deathmosh. Instead, going with Bolt of the Storm. Trying to keep vision on boss. You see Rainer's Raider being used very effectively for scouting. Just trying to keep eyes on if they're going boss. Now, backing up out of this. They didn't want that fight at that moment. They wanted to wait for Horrify to be back up. I like that call. They do also have Dahaka away, although he can, of course, burrow down and join the fight. Getting position now are both teams. ETC up in the forward bush. Dahaka can, of course, come in, but walking in, went with the contagion, so they're looking to get the members of, Tricky Gooses stacked up here. But Tricky Goose is doing a good job spreading, coming in from two different angles, and they're not giving ETC that engage angle he wants. And now, with Idioms and Iron split to the bottom side, I don't know if they're going to get the interrupt in. They don't. So, here's the situation. Kata's on the core. Those need to get cleaned up quick. But it is, let's just recap, 2-2. It is both teams with a keep down. Mid keep is just a hair from falling. The next tribute gives curse, and there's a boss available in bottom lane. Now, because of the fort standing, Roomba can absolutely afford to give this boss up if it nets them a curse. On the other hand, Tricky Gooses cannot afford to give the boss up even if it nets them a curse, presumably, unless they really go top and somehow burn quicker, but I don't think they can with their comp. And so, it may be in their best interest to do a bit of scouting here. That said, Roomba is up here. This is going to be a quintessential fight now. ETC just trying to be disruptive. Now power slides back through the Joanna. There's the Blessed Shield looking for the engage, but the follow-up really wasn't there, and I don't know if that was exactly the Blessed Shield they wanted. Here comes the engage, waiting for the Horrify. Does zone out Urel. There's the Divine Reckoning. Pulls Gul'dan right back into it. Pulls Gul'dan right back out of it. But now MJ Doom on the backside trying to be disruptive. Mosh did get interrupted there. The health bar starting to fall. Synchrony is the lowest right now. But there's Carpe Diem getting hit by the tongue, but the follow-up damage isn't there. On the other side, Urel, Ardent Defender, keeps herself alive. MJ Doom tries to get away, but he doesn't. Carpe Diem is low, but still alive. Do they get the finish? No, they don't. They do, however, get the curse on the side of Tricky Gooses. Gooses, but Whitemane finally goes down. Can they turn around and get the kills? They do. No, they don't get the kill. The heal comes through onto Urel, and she survives, and they actually turn that around on a Gul'dan and ETC, and now Joe trying to set up these finishes so they can go core, but Confused and Iron just have so much health, and the health is not there on the side of Tricky Gooses. I think they have to back off this and heal for the time being, but that said, there is so much pressure on the core of Roomba rotations. It looks like they're going to end their backs. They're going to try to pressure up. They don't have a healer. They're not going to be able to get healthy. The best they can do is try to protect these Katas and these minions, but look at the Winion damage. The core down to 28% and falling. Iron doing everything he can to defend. Confused doing everything he can, but the core goes down. And Tricky Gooses, they were down for a bit there. They lost a lot. But they just got all those picks at the end, and it turned into ultimately a win. And what was a very low kill match. 7-4 the final. And that is off the triple, but damn, I mean, Whitemane had some plays. Carpe Diem had some plays. You see what I'm saying at? Yeah. I mean, Carpe Diem is just insane. It's like, Materium, you're fucking really good. You're a lot better than me. But god damn, Carpe Diem is just insane. And we saw that in that game. So that is gonna be Tricky Gooses winning game number 1 on Cursed Hollow. And so, we're going to get set up for game number 2 here. See what map we go to, who chooses it. When we come back on the Nexus Gaming Series, I'll see you all in just a second. Stay tuned. All right, everyone, welcome back. Jumping into map number 2. Tricky Gooses versus Roomba rotations. Going to be Tomb of the Spider Queen as chosen by the rotations of the Roomba. Actually, hang on. I think the wrong team is picking first. No, Tricky Gooses picked this map. Sorry. That was it. Tricky Gooses did pick this map. Sorry. Roomba rotations did not pick map. Tricky Gooses chose first pick. That is correct. Everything is fine. We're fine. We're fine here. Are you okay? Are you fine? With that, Samuro banned out once again. Cassia going to be denied as well, which was played exceptionally well in that last game. The Valkyries were just absolutely on point. Joanna banned out by Tricky Gooses. They did play it on the last map, but I thought played it quite well. Tacit are going to be denied as well for the wave clear. It's the same flag, Feldroth. Same flag. Raynor going to be the first pick. Confused. Want to stick to that hero. Tricky Gooses now with 2 picks to come. Do we see their Butcher comp? Well, they already have a tank, so that indicates it might not be that, but... And they didn't go Uther, so maybe it's not going to be that. So with that, that does leave up... You look at the tanks that are up. Roomba rotations, I don't think plays Garrosh much. This could be a Mal'Ganis. Could be a Mal'Ganis. Could be a Blaze. Could be, could in theory be Muradin. I mean, Muradin Imperius is a thing. If you're really going hyper blow up. You know, you have the Anna Grenade to deny heals, but they also have the Anduin Cleanse. That was a very close game 1. Really could have gone either way, but it just came down to the heals at the end in my mind. See if Roomba comes back here. Gul'dan banned out. Not wanting to see those Horrifies again. Thought they were strong. Thought they were really strong. Thought Idioms played a really good game. Greymane. Gonna be denied. There's Sonya, going to be grabbed. And Jaina. So there's a lot of wave clear, camp clear, and burst damage in those 2 picks. Pairs well with the ETC Anduin they already had. So not really hurt by saving those 2 picks until after the second ban phase. Does leave up Birdie, potentially able to flex a pick here. Is Kael'thas for the wave clear, and there's the Blaze. So with that, they were asking if there was a banned skin, and I'm just informing them. I'm pretty sure that skin's not banned. I think it's only Cyber Kael'thas. I think Yep, there's the Butcher. I was wondering if we were going to see it, and we do indeed see it. Butcher last pick, which he can stack pretty quick on this map, was run against us quite effectively. They actually ignored first objective. They just stacked Butcher non-stop from 1 to 10. Didn't really let anything get in their way of doing it. And ultimately, it made a pretty strong mid-game Butcher that led to a lot of kills. So excited to see Birdie breaking this hero out again. It's played very well. They make it work. They use bushes well, and the Tricky Goose's strong macro play makes the Butcher even more dangerous because you have so many more chances of getting cut off on a flank. Here we go. Should note, I hate spiders. They're just fucking horrific. And if you like them, that's cool, but I don't. We're going to jump into the game, introducing our teams. It's going to be Duck on ETC, Birdie on Butcher, Wise on Sonya, Nanani on Jaina, and Carpe Diem on Anduin. It is Tricky Geese, a.k.a. Tricky Gooses. And on the right side, Roomba Rotation's going to have Idioms on the Kel'Thas, Synchrony on Imperius, Confused on Raynor, Iron on Anna, and MJ Doom on Blaze. Here we go. Level 1 talents coming in. I don't know what the standard pick at level 1 for Butcher is, but he did go block. So okay. You know, trying to deny some of that Raynor damage makes sense. I sincerely, I don't even know Butcher's options at level 1, so definitely denies a little bit of front-end damage, though. And it's really more just for Butcher about initiating safely, and if he can get that initiation he wants, he's going to be able to self-sustain very, very effectively. On the other side, Sonya, Blaze playing against each other. Sonya gonna rotate towards the mid, maybe look for some kind of opportunity to flank. ETC tries to separate out Idioms. Here comes the Butcher charge. Great knockback, though, from Raynor. And I think that's a good choice there to have the Raynor into the Butcher. That he can knock Butcher off a target after the charge. Which, you know, is important. Anna is very vulnerable to this Butcher dive. As she can't sleep dart the Butcher in transit. But that said, they have a lot of CC. They have the gravity lapse. They have the sleep dart. They have Imperius. They have Blaze. And then Raynor knockback. So they have a lot of ways to deal with the Butcher. Excuse me, as I'm having a sudden bout of horrifically painful heartburn. I'm sure you all wanted to know that. Meanwhile, though, Siege Camp has been picked up in the bottom by Raynor, who did go ace in the hole rather than Exterminator. Jaina coming down to help deal with this, so we'll keep our attention down here for the time being. Imperius also rotating in, so maybe just looking to pressure back the members of Tricky Gooses, but currently now maybe looking for that bad rotation to bottom, see if they can punish. Gem count very even at the moment, as is the Soak. 33 to 30. That slight favor going to Tricky Gooses. Meanwhile, Roomba getting Kel'Thas up top. He's going to grab a little bit of XP. They'll hit 5, just a teensy bit before the members of Tricky Gooses. ETC comes back on the flank. There's the spear looking at Imperius. Now there's the face melt. Kept him in the blizzard very effectively. But good heals there by Iron. Keeping Synchrony nice and healthy. Nice healthy boy. Who doesn't want to be a nice healthy boy? Now, Butcher does have 21 gems in hand. Not looking for a turn-in, though, at the moment. Does start, but Kel'Thas sees it. And actually, Duck almost got popped there. If Duck dies... Oh, I know what I need to do if Duck dies. I know what I need to do. But if this were Duck Hunt, you'd have the dog laughing right now in the bottom. But if Duck dies, I know exactly what sound effect to make. And I've probably just given away what that sound effect is. Duck dropping 11 gems there. That's 35 to 31 turned in. Negligible favor, but still a favor. to the side of Tricky Gooses. Jaina going to get hers dropped as well. I mean, obviously, the Butcher getting the gems out of his hand is a big deal. Wise currently holding 19. And here comes the flank. And if these gems get lost, this could be pretty detrimental. But that said, a good rotation down by the rest of the team. And now it's actually Idiom's getting turned around on. Butcher goes in, gets the stun onto Raynor. But not going to be able to secure the kill there. Once again, support's doing their job. Very even on the turn-ins. But gem count definitely tilting towards the side of Tricky Gooses at the moment. Roomba, though, getting some mid-wall pressure. And actually, oh, Wise goes down. Cleanse was not just in the nick of time that time. The Living Bomb still securing the finish. Can't blame Carpe Diem, though. They had to clean up that mid. But that will lead to the turn-in going in favor of Roomba rotations. They have the opportunity to get the early lead on this map. That's that first turn-in, not as critical as you would think on this map. There's the focus on the MJ Doom. He does not get the jet charge off, and now facing that long cooldown, and that will be 10 gems lost. The Tricky Gooses punches back with a kill of their own, but they do have to deal with a Web Weaver spawning basically on their mid fort, while also clearing up bottom. So this will enable Roomba to look for some value top with this Raynor siege damage. Wall has gone down. There is the focus on the Butcher. If they can drop some stacks, they do. They get the kill. They drop some stacks from the Butcher. Sonya does at least pick the gems up. He was about halfway done. Now he's also halfway done, but a little bit... Well, he's exactly halfway instead of a little bit more than halfway done. No turn in sight on the side of Roomba. Only at 20 gems at the moment. Meanwhile, opportunity for a double turn-in on the side of Tricky Gooses. Keeping an eye kind of on these rotations. Focus there on the ETC. He does get the sleep dart, and down he goes. Looks like his power slide got interrupted. Didn't have it available there. Roomba getting another big pick-off. And that will buy them some time to soak up some gems and, you know, make it where Tricky Gooses doesn't realistically have a chance to turn in here. And also, with this, it really pressures the Butcher because he doesn't have that ETC follow-up. Makes it harder for him to step up into the lane and look for those gems. But Sonya does sneak the first turn, and if they can get some value off this, then Tricky Gooses certainly has a chance for a double turn. They have lost their top fort, though. Level 10s. We have Ring of Frost. We have the Lamb to the Slaughter. Leap, Mosh, and Light Bomb. Light Bomb Leap could just be a massive combo. And actually, it looks like they're going to do just that. Ooh, good knockback there. But the Mosh comes in with the ring, and Kael'thas goes down. And Tricky Gooses just, they do this so well. They switch targets so fast. They did this against us a couple nights ago, where if they didn't get that initial target, if the heal came in, they were already on the second target. And it's a discipline level that you don't tend to see that much here in B East. But it's making me believe that they have the chance to be the representative for B East in the Division B finals. And you know, they did get that win over Tricky Gooses earlier in the season. They had that loss to Die for Vision. I kind of want to watch that series because I probably should have watched it scouting them. I don't know. I don't understand that loss. I'm kind of surprised by that one. I'd have to watch the matches and see exactly what happened. Perhaps they memed too hard. I don't know. But yeah, that's the difficulty when facing this team, is that they switch targets so fast. They didn't get any forts off that kill, but they now have a chance to do that with this second Web Weaver phase. Taking a look at the gems real quick. Looks like Roomba rotations is close to a turn-in of their own, though. So they could stop the bleeding here, but this bottom fort is just so next to dead. Looks like having cleared the top, they want to actually come and defend this mid. This Web Weaver is up. Nobody burning it at the moment. And it looks like they're actually just going to forfeit the mid fort. No, they're deciding to go in for this. MJ Doom has joined the fight. The top fort, though, is about to go down. And looks like they want to preserve the keep wall. And they're going to give up top keep to do it. Probably would have lost it regardless, even if they killed the spider. But now, immediately pushing this top keep wall are the members of Tricky Gooses. Butcher in the bush in the back. Now kind of up, looking for an opportunity. There's the power slide. Look for the mosh. Got interrupted. Bing Ring of Frost. But Imperius is just so healthy, he refused to go down. And it's actually Sonya going to get popped by the Pyroblast there. That Angelic Armaments just providing so much damage mitigation. And, wow. Got the engage you wanted, but it just led to nothing. And Anna did go with that Smelling Salts at 13. So it is going to really limit the Butcher's effectiveness when there's 50 armor on the target, as well as a stun cleanse on the target when Anna hits that dart. And it's not like that dart has a long cooldown. Anna doesn't need to hold anything back in order to mitigate that. She can just healing dart the target. Now, it does not remove the Lamb to the Slaughter. So the target will still be restrained when hit by Lamb to the Slaughter. But they won't be instantly stunned. They might have a chance to fire off some kind of counterplay. Here comes ETC looking for the engage. Duck gets turned around and engaged on, but still the sound effect remains in Smiley's pocket. Web Weaver's coming down. Top got cleaned up instantly. Mid is not long for this world. Wise is a little bit out of position, but able to whirlwind on through the body blocks. And this Web Weaver will go down without claiming this fort. So 3 forts to 2. That said, Roomba still with the XP lead. Oh, do we get the kill? Do we get the kill? Ooh, big light bomb combo with the ring. Anna gets deleted from this world. Idioms goes down. And there it is. It's just like you think like, oh, they're turning on to ETC. They're you know, ETC needs to get out, and all of a sudden the engage just comes in with that light leap, light bomb, Butcher charge and ring, and they just go, and it's over. It's done. And now turning their attention to boss, and Tricky Gooses were down a level a bit ago, now up XP, and now with a chance to get a keep with this top boss. I really want Duck to die. Not because I dislike Tricky Gooses or I don't want them to win, but just because I have a sound effect in mind. And I'm ready to use it. But Duck has to die. And if Duck doesn't die, I'm going to hold it in my pocket, and I'll save it for playoffs. Assuming Duck dies at any point in the playoffs, which with the way Tricky Gooses is playing, maybe not the case. Maybe not going to happen. We'll see. Web Weaver's up as well for Blues, so double trouble coming into this top lane for Roomba. And this boss is still alive, finally goes down, but the keep is already half health and falling further. Spear missed onto Butcher. But round 2, here comes the Web Weaver. Leap comes in. Ooh, that time maybe didn't have the engage. Oh, but there's the light bomb Butcher charge. Anna still goes down, but so does Wise. Butcher goes down as well. Are we going to do it? Are we going to do it? Are we going to do it? Come on, Roomba, I believe in you. Make it happen. No! No, Carpe Diem, what are you doing? Stop. I wanted the... No, I had the chance. Oh, God. It's going to be so cathartic if Duck dies. Again, nothing against the player. I just want to do the sound effect. Still, though, good defense there by Roomba. But they gotta get into a situation where I'm not saying good defense. They gotta get into a position where I say great engage. But it's just so hard to do with this CC chain that can turn around on them so hard. That said, they're looking. They're on a hunt. They do not find it though. They thought, oh, maybe they're gonna go for their bruisers, but bruiser's still not up for 15. There's good reason that Tricky Gooses didn't stick around there. Roomba gonna go ahead. They're off vision. Tricky Gooses does not know where they are, but I think they're taking a good guess. And seeing that Roomba, they don't want to fight in that tight space against that big CC train. As well as, actually, they don't want to lose their keep, which they may do regardless. They do. Winions just decimate that keep, as well as 2 Catas stacked top. So, Roomba, they wanted to look for the aggressive play, but just didn't find that opportunity. And now they got to pay the macro price for that time committed. Still even on XP. They do have the gem lead as well. So the next turn in will almost certainly be Roomba's unless they lose a fight between now and then. Which is, at this point in the game, it's possible. I mean, it's possible we don't see another turn in. But Roomba down to just 1 keep. That is a lot of macro pressure to face. Especially with this already stacking up in the mid. Rotation's coming in. Synchrony just going to have to back off that one, give the bush over to ETC. And they're going to have to let this bruiser camp be taken. Just with that superior positioning. And you don't want to fight into choke points with the kind of comp that Roomba has. You certainly want the enemy team into choke point for Kael'thas, but you yourself have a harder time there. Bunker helps. But with the bursts we've seen out of Tricky Gooses, questionable if the target will have any time to get into bunker. Tricky Goose is just continuing to apply pressure. They're playing on the right side of the map, making sure they get soaked, but making sure they keep Roomba rotations back and honest, not giving them an opportunity to get a fight pre-20. And it's a smart play. Tricky Gooses, though, now, you might see them back off a bit, get a little sheepish, and you're seeing that now. Not scared, certainly, but just trying to avoid the fight, trying to make sure that they are soaking 20 first, although they did actually kill some minions to do that, and currently not doing so, so Roomba's closed that gap considerably, down to about a third of a level, but having to deal now with these Catas stacked top. Tricky Gooses just defending turn-ins at the moment, trying to get vision without trying to engage. They want to pull the trigger as soon as they hit 20, especially with that Slaughterhouse. And now that means, ooh, there's the Angelic Armaments that might be able to secure the kill. No, there's a big stun with the Ring of Frost. Charge comes out, no deaths yet, but Iron's going to be the first to fall. Bunker finally comes down. Synchrony, though, not going to be able to get out of there. And I think this might be the swan song of Roomba rotations. You see what I did there? Alright, so the noise I was going to make if Duck died. Because Duck isn't going to die at this point. Game's over. The noise I was going to make was... ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba-ba. And if you don't recognize that noise, don't worry. But let me just tell you that it is extraordinarily apropos if I went... ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba-ba if Duck died. But it didn't happen. So with that... Probably should have saved that for playoffs, but whatever. Roomba rotations, they put up a fight. They absolutely put up a fight, but just Tricky Gooses seem to have that second gear. And, man, they played it well. They played it so well. So with that, Tricky Gooses is going to win this series 2-0. And they are, to me right now, absolutely the team to beat. They're looking incredibly strong. They started off the season well. They were kind of a middling team in Division 2 and Heroes Lounge. Coming into the season, they've just hit a different gear. And they are looking unstoppable right now. They are not looking like a Division B team. They're not even looking like a good Division B team. They're looking like a high-tier, well, mid-tier Division A team right now. Maybe high-tier, but certainly mid-tier. They're comboing just so well. But with that, we're going to see if we can do a post-game interview, so stay tuned for that. All right, everyone, welcome back to the next gaming series. I am joined by the captain of Tricky Gooses, Duck. Duck, how are you guys feeling after that 2-0?
Feeling great. We wanted to end out the season strong, and I feel like we're doing it.
Yeah, I mean, you guys have just been on a tear lately. I mean, you played some other like top four team in the division, and it wasn't even remotely competitive. I mean, you made those guys look fucking terrible. You made their Rhaegar look like dog shit. Like that Rhaegar is not gonna have a team after this season.
I don't know. After
So
20, he got a lot of double ancestrals off.
well, yeah, but none of them were impactful. Anyway, um, it was a weird thing because you guys were killing people through ancestral anyway. So anyway, with that though, let's talk about this series. So you guys come in uh, right now, likely to be 2 seed, chance to climb to 1 seed, but I think it um I think it comes down to map score, and I think right now Tiny Dancers just has more 2-0s than you guys.
Yep.
Um, but I gotta say, down the stretch, and I really mean this, having watched that game and having played against you guys, you guys are on a fucking tear right now, and you are scary to play, and I don't really have much else to say other than yeah, watch out the rest of the division in playoffs. So I just wanted to start with that.
Appreciate it.
But game one, it was back and forth. Cursed Hollow. You guys picked the map. What was kind of your strategy behind the draft in that game, and what was your plan for the map?
I don't remember exactly what order things were picked, but we have a couple different strategies that we were looking at doing depending on what they picked, because they have a lot of the same picks we do.
Mm-hmm.
So we thought we'd just see where that went. But when we got Cassia Johanna, we think that's super strong. So we're
Mm-hmm.
totally fine with just going with that and moving from there. Otherwise, we were looking at trying to take some globals, but the Falstad ban and then the Dahaka take really took that away.
Yeah, definitely played strong. Now you guys were down at one point in the game. You lost the first tribute. You lost all 3 forts. So passive XP at that point grinding against you, and you only had one tribute to your name at that point. How do you kind of regroup after that? And and
That
and and what do you most attribute that to? Go ahead.
that was kind of an interesting situation because I told them we're just going to give this third cap because we
Mm,
had the boss pushing for bot lane to
right.
counter most of the pressure there, and then the bruiser camp for mid. So I thought we could just defend the top with their boss, and they actually took a lot more than I thought they would.
Mm,
But then at that point, we were in the lead on tributes. So, I mean, it was one, but it was
right.
still in the lead. So I
Right.
thought, well, we just got to win a team fight and make it happen. And that last fight up at top was insane.
Yeah, my goodness, it was.
Everyone wanted to start backing out. And I said, no, we just trade all of our kills, whatever we get.
Yeah, I mean, you guys were all low, but you managed to win 3-1, and low is better than dead. I gotta say, I mean, Carpe Diem, even though he did go down, he or she, forgive me, went down in that last fight, played an exceptional ult, played an exceptional game, and I sung Carpe Diem's praise multiple times during that match.
We do it all the time.
Yeah.
Carpe's an insane support.
Oh my gosh.
People don't seem to respect his white main. I guess they want to ban our tanks and our damage, but
I
he
think
let
it's
his
one of
white main
those.
through.
I think it's one of those. You guys have a lot of kind of pocket picks that are just really difficult to play against.
Yeah, we tried to start
You
spreading wider for that reason.
yeah, and it's certainly the Samuro is one of those disruptive heroes. If a Samuro is played well, nobody wants to play against it. It's one of those heroes that's like that, and you guys certainly played it well. Also, breaking out this Butcher lately, which, frankly, and forgive me, but fuck you. No, it's played exceptionally well. It is so hard to play against the way you guys combo off it, and it was just some of those engages were just a thing of beauty. Especially want to go to game two at the top. You were pushing, you kind of cut off rotation between mid and top tower, and you got the stun engage, but the knockback came through. You switched targets immediately and still managed to get a kill there. And I just want to give you credit on that. You guys switched targets
Yeah, I
better than
appreciate
any
it.
team in
I
BDs.
make a lot of the calls on
Mhm.
engages, and in this case, when we have Butcher can reach farther, so can Sonya Leap. So one of us will make a call, and then one of us will make an opposite call to just turn back, and we're real quick on it. We yell at each other a lot in
Yeah.
practice. Turn around on that person.
Yeah. You guys did it well. He comboed extremely well. Game two, you know, Roomba rotations had some moments, but ultimately just felt like you guys got control of that map and you just were getting kills when they weren't. So with that, I mean, you guys are. Well, the advantage of us being 4 or 5 seed is you will be on the opposite side of the bracket, and therefore we might have a remote chance of making coaster finals. But Tiny Dancer's a good team too. No disrespect to them. They're an extraordinarily tough out for us.
Absolutely.
One Tricks is going to be a tough out for us. So it's not certain that that's what the playoff bracket's going to be, but it's probably going to be. But with that, you guys now find yourself almost certainly the 2 seed. I assume your goal at this point is to win it all.
I mean, we hope so. I told them though, once we were mathematically locked, like let's just play it and have fun, do things that we want to do. I mean, like
first, it's been better. Go ahead.
First, you guys, we let our support play Samro, so
yeah, thanks for that. Thanks.
We figured it would be a big surprise.
No, no, it was a fun learning experience for me and my team. Well, I shouldn't lie. It was a learning experience for me and my team. But no, congrats again, and obviously, best of luck heading into playoffs. Floor is yours for shoutouts.
Well, first off, thank you very much for picking up our casts. I know you just picked it up earlier today, and I appreciate you doing it.
My casting schedule's been a bit hectic lately, but I wanted to get some in this weekend.
Yeah, and I know ours get picked up by Spectrum a lot. He ends up just playing with us, and so he's like, "Oh, nobody's got yours? I'll take it." So just happened to work out that way. Our team, great practice. We've had a lot of issues with my computer deciding to do things like cut me off in the middle of a match, make them play with AI versus Durton's couch. So we've had some issues we've been working on even during practices, and there was no issues tonight. So fingers crossed on that. They put up with a lot from me on that.
Yeah. All right. Well, with that, thank you very much, and we're gonna bring this cast to a close. Thank you all for watching. Have a great night and take care.